steel giants fall, Ukraine destroys Russian armored columns in real time. Ukraine just buried the Russian tank doctrine for good. Russia has relied extensively on armored vehicles, reflecting the central role of columns of them in the military doctrine for decades. However, drawing on the devastating outcomes of armored offensives in Ukraine, Russian analysts conclude that such formations are no longer achieving their intended operational objectives. Despite being regarded as reliable and effective in the past, the continuous use of armored columns by the Russian army has led to catastrophic losses. Several key factors explain why they have become less effective, the first of which is modern precision anti-tank weapons that allow defenders to target individual vehicles at standoff distances, neutralizing armor before it can support infantry or achieve a breakthrough. Extensive minefields and fortifications like Dragon's Teeth slow down movement, forcing vehicles into predictable lanes where they are more vulnerable to direct and indirect fire. Persistent surveillance by drones continuously monitors advances, denying operational surprise and exposing movements from the earliest stages, providing real-time targeting data that enables defenders to pre-plan and dynamically adjust fires. As a result, losses increasingly occur during movement rather than at the front line, with disabled vehicles creating choke points that obstruct follow-on forces, compounding attrition and undermining operational momentum. Together, these factors create a clear pattern in which mechanized assaults are detected early, tracked in real time with no chance to hide, and addressed systematically while still en route to their targets. Additionally, the repeated use of the same axes of advance by the Russian command further reinforces this attrition, turning rear areas into kill zones, deciding the outcome of mechanized assaults long before reaching the front line. Geolocated footage from a recent Russian assault near Huliaipole confirms this, showing how two infantry fighting vehicles transporting approximately 14 Russian soldiers attempted to exploit fog to mask their advance. The assault was detected during the dismount phase, and infantry from the 225th Separate Assault Regiment, operating with FPV drone support, engaged the enemy. The initial strike disrupted the dismounting of the infantry and effectively halted the attack. Over the course of approximately 1 hour, both vehicles were destroyed, and the Russian assault group was systematically neutralized through a combination of small arms fire, drone-dropped munitions, and indirect fire support by artillery. These engagements affect more than just this single battle, because armored vehicles no longer function as enablers of maneuver, and instead of facilitating breakthroughs or shock, they increasingly become reason for detection and Ukrainian fire, being targeted accurately from multiple directions. Using armor now makes them more vulnerable instead of stronger, and it forces their movements to be slow and predictable, while creating bottlenecks where losses accumulate without the achievement of any operational gains. With armored vehicles increasingly unable to survive sustained exposure on the front line, Russia is effectively losing the last coherent framework of its offensive doctrine. The decline of effective tank and vehicle attacks challenges the long-held idea that Russian ground forces can rely on sheer numbers, speed, and heavy protection to win battles. Without armored protection, offensive action degrades into costly infantry advances, lacking both operational depth and the ability to achieve decisive breakthroughs. Ukrainian forces are increasingly carrying out offensive and counteroffensive operations along the front line, with roughly a quarter of all combat engagements now initiated by Ukrainian units, Ukraine's Commander-in-Chief Oleksandr Syrsky said recently. According to Syrsky, the purpose of these actions is to keep Russian forces under constant pressure, inflict steady losses, and prevent further advances. He said the approach is producing tangible results, noting that in January, Russian troops failed to achieve any significant operational breakthroughs. In certain areas, about a quarter of combat engagements involve Ukrainian units on the offensive. At the same time, Syrsky described the battlefield situation as difficult. Russian forces continue offensive operations across the entire line of contact with varying intensity. The active front stretches roughly 1,200 kilometers, while the depth of combat formations is expanding as drone warfare reshapes the battlefield. The development of unmanned systems means combat formations are expanding not along the front, but deeper into the engagement zone, already reaching 15 to 20 kilometers. Over the past 6 months, the size of Russia's deployed grouping has remained largely unchanged at about 711,000 to 712,000 personnel, including operational reserves. Syrsky noted that Russian authorities have fully met, and in some cases exceeded, their recruitment targets, a sign that battlefield losses remain extremely high. On average, Russian forces are losing approximately 1,000 to 1,100 troops killed or wounded each day, he said, indicating attrition that outpaces the enemy's ability to replenish manpower. Despite continued Russian assaults, Ukrainian commanders say sustained pressure and active maneuver are preventing Moscow from translating numerical strength into meaningful operational gains.